Whew, what's going on, you guys? Zach here. Just a quick thing before we begin, I want to thank everybody who has been subscribing to this channel and supporting this channel. We just hit the 20,000 subscriber milestone, which is absolutely surreal for me. And at the beginning of the year, when I started doing more of these videos, I had no anticipation that it was going to incline that way and all of the other opportunities and jobs that were going to spiral from that. And that's been kind of the inspiration of this video, is talking about how doing something small can lead to something bigger. But what small things and how many things do you need to do before those little things grow up to be really large? It's like throwing a rock in a pond. How far are those ripples gonna go? So how do you gauge what is going to be the rock that's gonna leave the biggest splash or the biggest ripple? Well, hopefully this video can help you out with that. So without further ado, let's get into it. As a quick disclaimer before the video begins, this video applies for all visual artists. So if you're a graphic designer, an animator, or a filmmaker, this will apply for doing client jobs and work and how those opportunities can sprout. But I'm gonna be talking primarily to filmmakers because that's what my profession is. Okay, so let's start off from the very beginning. You're just starting to get into doing your visual arts and you're getting good enough that you wanna search for clients, you wanna start making money off of this. Well, what are the first stages? You're probably gonna have to start off by doing free gigs. And I'm sure you're incredible. You're probably the best filmmaker in your group of friends. You're really talented at what you do. But the big thing is no one is going to hire you when you have nothing on your demo reel or nothing that you want to show. You might be really skilled with a camera when you're hanging out with your friends, when you're at home, but you have to be able to show clients that you can work with clients and that you can provide content that's going to match what their vision is. So that leads me to starting off with free gigs. When you begin, start taking as many jobs as you can. When you're starting out, it's a little bit easier to take free gigs than what it is when you get a little bit further because the stakes are raised a little bit. You probably have more gear, you have a little bit more financial debt. So starting out free is a really great way to get your name out, and you'll probably get paid for the stuff that you get started out with, but just start out at the roots getting experience. And when you're at the ground level, experience and exposure is a really great thing. Try and get experience doing all of the things that you want to do. So do a wedding video, film somebody's event, film a birthday party, just start doing more client-based stuff at a ground level. You can try out things that you wouldn't be able to do if you were getting paid. That's the great thing about doing free gigs, is at the end of the day, they're not paying for your abilities, they're just getting you to go out. So experiment with shots, try different things out. Maybe you'll realize that you don't like shooting weddings, or if you miss something, the biggest thing is there's no financial contract involved, so you're able to test out what you like and what you don't like. Now, the big thing that I want to talk about in this episode, and what I said before, is exposure and opportunity. That's something that you need to be very conscious of as an artist. And if you are a veteran filmmaker, you've probably heard this term many times, or if you're just getting into doing client work, the big word you're going to hear is opportunity or exposure. Now, opportunity and exposure can be really great things. And for me, I've really benefited from that. But I've also gotten taken advantage of, because the word opportunity for potential clients can be disguised as taking advantage of you. So you really have to have a filter on and make sure that you're not getting your artistic abilities taken advantage of by somebody who could have paid you, but just decided not to, and just take advantage of your creative abilities because they wanted to save a couple dollars on their project. And now they've got a really great video. You just poured your heart and soul into it and you get nothing in return. So you'll probably hear people being like, yeah, it's great exposure. There's a lot of really good opportunity available. There's gonna be a lot of really big people at this event. Don't worry, man, you'll be good. We're gonna pay you food. We got your gas covered, which it's all great, but you should probably start gearing towards starting to make money. That's, if this is what you want to do, you gotta pay the bills, feed the family, put bread on the table. So what are some ways to train yourself to know what is a good opportunity and what is getting taken advantage of? Now, this is my method of doing things, and this is what I've kind of gone by when doing my own personal videos. It might not apply to some of the gigs that you do, but I've worked it out to be a really good way to know and filter what works best for me as an artist. So you've done all those jobs, everything's done across the board, you've got all of your experience. experience. Now, somebody's come up to you, somebody who runs a company and says, look, I don't have any money, but do you want to do this cool product video for me? Think about your options. Creatively, is it going to satisfy you? Is this going to be something that's going to look really cool on your reel and something you really want to do? Maybe it's a cool like shoe commercial. They're willing to cover the costs. All you got to do is film it and edit it and make something really cool, like a cool slow-mo product video. If it's something that excites you and it's something you think is going to look really cool on your reel or something that you're going to have a lot of fun doing, then take the job. Even if it's for somebody who could probably pay you, or maybe they give you a small amount, this might lead into doing something bigger. Or you could take that video that you shot for this client and shop it around to other clients. That's another big thing. Once somebody sees one of your pieces of project, as long as it's not like a confidential video or for internal use, try and shop it around, bring it around, put it online, show it to people, and that'll get you a lot of actual exposure as opposed to what people are promising. One thing to keep in mind is no one is going to fight for you as much as you are. So if you're really confident with a piece of work, you're going to be the one who's shopping around and sending it to a lot of your friends. That being said, the majority of work that I've gotten has been through word of mouth, but you should really try and fight for the stuff that you're doing because you are going to be the most confident in all of that. And again, nobody is going to fight for you as much as you are. So as a quick example, when I started out doing wedding videography, I did my first one for free, $0. And the big thing with wedding videos is they can escalate up to being charged for like $10,000 per video. So there's a lot of money in it. So doing one for free is a bit of a risk. You're doing something that a lot of people get paid a lot of money for. And so in the back of your head, you're like, oh yeah, but I could charge a lot of money for this. Again, if it's your first time doing this, it's great experience for the project. Then that word's gonna spread. Maybe it's like their niece or nephew that's getting married. Somebody's gonna be getting married at that wedding, and then that word is going to spread. And they're gonna be like, look, I know this videographer, I know this artist who can help you out. I know this artist who's really great and they did our wedding video for us. Now the word has spread and that person is now going to approach you. That means the ball is in your court, meaning the value is up to you what you wanna charge. If you approach somebody, you're gonna have to come to them with a dollar amount. But if somebody approaches you, you can kind of set the rate to whatever you want. Don't go aim high in the sky, so don't go for $10,000 because this might be your second or third gig. Charge something reasonable and then slowly start to raise your rate the more people come into you. That's how I usually gauge like value of my work. If I'm really busy and a lot of people are coming at me, I'll usually raise it up higher. That way I can prioritize what stuff I want to do financially. Let's say you're at like the peak, you're getting so many jobs available to you and you're making some great cash. And then a couple people are coming up to you being like, look, we have no money, but here's the project. If the project is something that excites you, it inspires you, maybe it's for like a really cool band, it's a cool concept, maybe there's travel involved, expenses paid, take a look at that and think, is this something that is going to benefit me as an artist and benefit my demo reel? Is it something really cool that I'd love to do? And could I see myself doing this for a couple weeks, maybe a month, and not being bothered by it? And if you check off all those boxes, then totally take the opportunity, totally take the experience. This whole year, I've done so many experience and opportunity jobs and not regretted any of them. I've been able to travel the world, build my experience, meet a lot of really great people, and I've gotten actual exposure. And I've been doing that by gauging the people who I'm surrounding myself with and taking advantage of the exposure. Sometimes the client will spread the word for you, but other times they might just not say anything. And it's up to you to hand out your business cards, talk a little bit about yourself, and get yourself out there. So again, just to kind of summarize over everything, when you're starting out, take as many jobs as you possibly can. Then narrow in what you like doing, and if you want to try out new things and you are starting to make money, leave room and time for those free opportunities and actual opportunities to take. Opportunities can sometimes take you miles and the paid gigs can take you like little distances. Sometimes the best jobs that I've ever done are the ones that are for free and they've taken me miles and miles, and the ones that I got paid for just kind of were like temporary satisfaction. And so as an artist, it's really hard to weigh in, oh, do I take the money or do I keep going with my dreams? And let's say if you're financially stable, you're not hurting, then take an opportunity gig, really launch yourself. The biggest thing that I've realized with doing movies and filmmaking is the fact that sometimes I won't see that opportunity from that past job come in for like a year. One of the last big jobs that I did actually came from a job that I did 4 years prior. So just because you're not seeing the satisfaction like money right away doesn't mean it's not gonna come. Give it some time and just keep planting those seeds, because eventually one of them is gonna sprout and you're gonna get some really great jobs. Hard work always pays off, and if you just keep at the grind, you will eventually succeed into the stuff that you wanna get into. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. It was a bit of a long video, I rambled on a bit, but thank you so much for watching. If you are a new viewer and want to hit that, if you're a new viewer and want to watch more of these videos, hit that subscribe button. Let's try and rack this up to 30,000. I would love to have your support. And if you guys want to watch like more tutorial based stuff, I do tutorials for Premium Beat, which has been like one of the greatest things that I started doing this year. An incredible company to work for. I do all video tutorials for those guys, and that was sprouted from me doing these videos. So again, just because you're not seeing the opportunity right away doesn't mean it's not gonna come, but obviously have some sort of mask or filter when getting other jobs, because sometimes money isn't everything and sometimes being free isn't everything. Okay guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta do some editing. Hopefully that helped you out, and I'll see you guys next time.